Good morning once again, and we'll talk a little bit about affirmations today, the power of affirmations. Uh, you know, one of the things that we do need to understand when we're talking about affirmations, affirmations, as Master has given us, is one of the tools that we can use for bringing about healing for ourselves as well as for others whom we care for. And the main thing about all of the various healing techniques that Master has given us, all of them are focused on arousing the life force within us, and affirmations are also one of the ways of arousing this life force. We of course need to use affirmations to change the reality that we have brought about upon ourselves over the lifetimes. And for understanding this, I think it will be good for me to share with you a little bit briefly about the process of creation that has gone about. So God, in His state of Satchitanand, complete bliss, at some point, and we do not know why, at our level of evolution, we of course do not know why, but God at some point projected Himself from that state of Satchitananda into thought and idea. He projected Himself out into thought and idea, and then He vibrated. And creating that vibration, He formed energy and light. Then, with even grosser vibrations, from that energy and light, matter was manifested. So if we see, from that state of Satchitananda, unchangeable, unmoving, unaffected state, God projected Himself out as thought, ideas, and then from there, those thoughts and ideas vibrating at a grosser level were manifested as matter. Now if we have to take this and look at everything that's created around us, even we ourselves are therefore a creation from that state of Satchitananda. So we are created in the image of God. We've read about it, we've heard it several times. And being created in that state or in that image of God, in our day-to-day lives, we actually apply this principle right from getting an idea, thought, to converting it, materializing it. Let's take the example of an architect. If he has to come up with a building, there is a thought that he gets, he has an idea, and then he translates that by way of designs, creating the designs, and then it goes into actual construction where the building is created. So the entire process from thought to creation of the building, has gone through in the same way as, or the similar way in which God Himself has created matter. So we are following this kind of a process in our lives, and across lifetimes, what we have done is applying thought to ourselves, to the things we do. We have created our own realities into what we are today, whether it's a reality that we like or a reality that we dislike. We have gone and created that reality for ourselves, and of course, because we have followed this process in creating this reality, okay, and the realities that we don't like are the ones we definitely want to change, okay, be it relationship issues, be it financial challenges, be it challenges at work, or whatever it is. Okay, there are so many things, health issues, and so many things that we go through. We have manifested all of this, but we can apply the same principle. Okay, recreate our realities by thinking the right kind of thoughts, by then applying the right kind of actions to manifest the reality that we are looking for. Okay, so affirmations help us do this. I mean, if somebody is going through a financial challenge, and we have to just tell that person, okay, think that you are rich, that you have all the money that you need. That person in his current or her current state of reality of the financial challenges will have difficulty in really just thinking that he is rich. But when he uses the processes that Master has explained and given us, he is able to then bring about the change that he wants. You know, Master says, and I've got some notes over here just to, for two reasons. One, to keep me on track and not go off track, and two, of course, to make sure that I'm able to share with you all some of the key points that Master has shared with us around this. You know, Master has said affirmations, they are statements through words of truth of our inner and outer realities that we are wishing for the betterment of our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual conditions. Okay, that is what affirmations are. But then what are words? Yeah, so he's saying they are statements through words. What are words? So Master says in Scientific Healing Affirmations, in the book Scientific Healing Affirmations, he has said, words are sounds occasioned by vibrations of thoughts. Words are sounds occasioned by the vibration of thoughts. Thoughts are vibrations sent forth by the ego or the soul. These are Master's words. So I've actually noted them now, so we share in his exact words what is it that he has shared. It is very important for us to understand these points that Master has shared with us. You know, he also says, Master also says, that when the right thoughts expressed in the rightly uttered words, okay, they will set up rhythmic etheric vibrations and initiate proper actions in the affirming individual and in all circumstances connected with the successful attainment of the desired results. He has said this in the Perceptor 1938. It has also been mentioned in the book Divine Will Healing by Eric Ratzman. The right thoughts expressed in rightly uttered words will set up rhythmic etheric vibrations. This is very important. The right thoughts expressed in rightly uttered words, they will set up rhythmic etheric vibrations. And what will happen when those vibrations are set up, the right set of vibrations are set up, they will then initiate, it will start creating proper actions in the affirming individual as well as in the circumstances around that individual to bring about the changes that the individual is looking for. Okay, so it is not about just idle, saying of the affirmations or repeating of the affirmations. It's the right kind of attitude that you carry as you say these affirmations, and the correct approach that you take to saying these affirmations. Okay, so what else does he say over here? Yeah. So now, having understood this process and some of the points that Master has shared with us, I would also like to share with you all about, how do we go about saying the affirmations? What is the right kind of attitude that we need to maintain or we need to have when saying the affirmations? This is very important. One of the key elements or the attitudes that we need to have while saying the affirmations is we have to say the affirmations with complete faith, with sincerity, with total conviction. We should not have a doubt when we are saying these affirmations. Doubt should not creep in. If there is doubt, there is no faith. Okay, so complete faith, complete conviction, sincerity. Okay, with complete attention when you are saying it. Understanding the affirmations as we say those affirmations. Feeling it, feeling that affirmation. Again, taking that same example of someone going through financial challenges, while it is true that just telling that person, okay, think that you've got all the prosperity that you need, will not help the person change, help the person to be able to concentrate just on that. But when the person says an affirmation feelingly, okay, Master has given various affirmations in the book, the Scientific Healing Affirmations also. So when the affirmations are said with the feeling, so what is it that you would feel if you had the prosperity that you would look for? Let's forget. Don't think about the current issue that you have, whether it's a financial issue, whether it's a health issue. Don't think about that when you're saying the affirmations. But what would you feel like when you have the prosperity? What would you feel like when you don't have that medical condition? What would you feel like? Feel that. So feelingly, when you're saying the affirmations, feel them. Have that, belief, that trust, that faith, that yes, this will work. And then most importantly, don't go, trying to dig up the seed that you've sown to figure out whether it has started germinating, is it growing or not. You don't do that, right? I mean, if the farmers planted the seeds, the farmer is not going to dig up the soil to see whether the seed has germinated or not. He's going to wait patiently. So patience is the other attitude that we need to have. We need to have a lot of patience and just know and believe that what will come through this will come through for our good, and that Master is hearing us, that God is hearing us, and the changes, the transformations will definitely come through. So these attitudes are very, very important for us to maintain. Let me see if I've missed anything else in the attitudes. Yeah, ever increasing intensity and attention, continuity and repetition. The other thing is, of course, when we're saying the affirmations again, it is very important that we sit with the right posture. So just the way we sit for meditation, cross-legged in the lotus posture, if it is convenient. Otherwise, any other easy cross-legged posture. If that is not possible, you can sit on a straight back chair which does not have any armrest. So sit comfortably. Go into deep meditation, and then from deep meditation, as you are in the depth of the meditation, you can do the affirmations. Of course, there are techniques that Master, that Swamiji have shared, and I will talk about that as well. Okay, like we follow for the practice of meditation, sitting on a woolen blanket, or if we are using a chair, we have a woolen blanket placed over it, obviously to insulate us from the downward pulling energies of the earth. Okay, because all these practices we want to raise our life force, so obviously we will insulate ourselves. The other is the time. When will we say the affirmation? So it's good to say the affirmations on waking in the morning, to say it at night before going to sleep. But other than that, you can always say the affirmations as often as we want throughout the day, through the entire day, as often as you can say the affirmations. Master has not prescribed any fixed number of times. He has said often, continuously, repeatedly. So as often as you can, keep repeating them continuously. But whenever you do it feelingly. Don't let it be idle chanting. Let there be the feeling behind it. As you go through the day, whenever you are saying those affirmations, say them with the feeling. Say them with devotion. Let there be devotion. Okay, all through the day. Alright, and of course it is important to have and sit in a quiet place when we are saying the affirmations. But if we don't have a quiet place for whatever reason, it is important that at that time, with devotion, ignoring the sounds around us, we say these affirmations with the necessary devotion. We can't always get what we want, right? The circumstances around us may not always be conducive enough for us to be able to get that kind of a quiet scenario to do the affirmations and say the affirmations. But we can choose to, with devotion, with feeling, with concentration, ignore the sounds around and just pay complete attention to the affirmation that we are saying. Of course, when we are saying the affirmations in a group, it is important that the entire group says the affirmations together. And one of the things to keep in mind in this is that normally, if we have any kind of strong, fast movements or any kind of noise, particularly when we are doing it in a group affirmation, then we disturb the rest of the energy in the group, and we distract that energy from flowing through. So when we are saying the affirmations in a group, it is very important that we participate in the group. We don't distract ourselves. We don't allow thoughts to disturb us when we are saying these affirmations in a group, whether it is for ourselves or whether we are saying it for someone else. Something that Swamiji has also mentioned about saying the affirmations, and I'm going to read it out from here. He has said, affirmations should be repeated in such a way as to lift the consciousness towards the superconscious. This they can accomplish when we repeat them with deep concentration at the seat of divine awareness in the human body, that is the Christ center, which is a point in the forehead midway between the two eyebrows. He says, repeat the affirmations loudly at first to command the full attention of your conscious mind. Then repeat them quietly to absorb more deeply the meaning of the words. Then speak them in whisper, carrying their meaning down into the subconscious. Repeat them again silently to deepen your absorption of them at the subconscious level. Then at last, with rising aspiration, repeat them at the Christ center. He says, at every level, repeat them several times, absorbing yourself ever more deeply in their meaning. And this is very important, the way Swamiji has explained this is very important because there is something that Master has shared. It reminds me, let me try and pull that out for you all. Just give me a moment, I'll pull this out. He said, yeah, here it is. Master has said in the Preceptor 1938, he has said, the moment a phrase reaches the superconscious and one's inner conviction, a volley of energy will shoot down and vibrate and heal the diseased tissues of the body, mind and soul, electrocuting physical bacteria, paralyzing mental fears and conflagrating ignorance into ashes. So that is the power, and this is what Swamiji has given us these steps, this guidance, saying that how you say the affirmations, and this here's what Master has said about how once the affirmations reach the superconscious, they can bring about the changes into the subconscious, and from the subconscious at the conscious level we can start experiencing the changes that we want to see. So what I will do now is, just identify a couple of affirmations. We'll actually say those affirmations. Swamiji has also in his book Affirmations for Self-Healing suggested that at the end of the affirmation we also say a prayer. This is because, of course, there is an effort that we are putting in from our side. Okay? And that effort, while it is being put in from our side, is by the God-given power within us. But at the end of it, we want to surrender everything to God. And that's why at the end of the affirmation, Swamiji suggests that we say a prayer as well. So I've just identified a couple of affirmations over here which we will say. But before that, I would just invite all of you to tense your bodies. We'll do it about 3 times. Tense with a double breath. And we want to let go of all the tensions, worries, fears, anxieties that we may be carrying with a double breath out loud with the hum. Let us close our eyes now and meditate for a minute. Now we say an affirmation on energy. We will first say it out loudly, and I would invite all of you to say it out loudly as well. Don't hesitate to say it loudly. Your neighbor will also appreciate it when you're saying it loudly actually, so don't hesitate at all. This one's on energy. The affirmation goes, within me lies the energy.
Within me lies the energy
To accomplish all that I will to do.
to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act
Behind my every act
is God's infinite power.
is God's infinite power.
Within me lies the energy
Within me lies the energy
to accomplish all that I will to do.
to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act
Behind my every act
is God's infinite power.
is God's infinite power.
Within me lies the energy
Within me lies the energy
to accomplish all that I will to do.
to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act
Behind my every act
is God's infinite power.
is God's infinite power.
Now softly. Within me lies the energy
Within me lies the energy
to accomplish all that I will to do.
to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act
Behind my every act
is God's infinite power.
is God's infinite power.
Within me lies the energy
Within me lies the energy
to accomplish all that I will to do.
to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act
Behind my every act
is God's infinite
is
power.
God's infinite power.
Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. And now whispering, though I will be saying the affirmation aloud, but you whisper it, keeping your eyes closed, focused at the point between the eyebrows. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. And now saying it mentally, absolutely mentally, no moving your lips, no moving the tongue. I will still say it out loud, but you will say it mentally. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Allow yourselves to be absorbed in the vibrations of this affirmation. Gently breathe your subconscious. And now I will say the prayer that Swamiji has given for this, and you may softly repeat the prayer after me. O cosmic energy, vitalize all the cells of my body. Recharge my mind with boundless inspiration. Fill my soul with thy inexhaustible joy. Now gently open your eyes. There is one more affirmation that we will go through. This one is on kindness. This one's on peace of mind. Again, peace of mind is something that we are all seeking and look to. So I will, once again, let's just close our eyes. I will say this affirmation out loud, and we'll follow the same practice. From pools of inner silence, say it out loudly.
From pools of inner silence,
I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace.
I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace.
From pools of inner silence,
From pools of inner silence,
I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace.
I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace.
From pools of inner silence,
From pools of inner silence,
I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace.
I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace.
Now softly, from pools of inner silence, I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace from pools of inner silence. I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace from pools of inner silence. I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace. And now whispering from pools of inner silence. I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace from pools of inner silence. I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace from pools of inner silence. I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace. And now mentally, don't move your lips or tongues when saying it. I will be saying it out loudly for you, but you will repeat it mentally from pools of inner silence. I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace. From pools of inner silence, I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace. From pools of inner silence, I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace. From pools of inner silence, I sip the sparkling waters of thy peace. Allow yourselves to rest in these vibrations of peace, vibrations of calmness, absorbing your being, every cell, every fiber of your being, getting absorbed in these vibrations of peace. Say the prayers. Keep your eyes closed when we are doing this. I will say the prayer and you may repeat it softly after me. All that I own is thine, Lord. Help me to know thee as the river of peace, running silently beneath the sands of my life's experiences. Keeping your eyes closed, absorb yourselves in this peace. Vibrations of peace that have filled your mind. Let us now visualize this peace spreading and filling this entire room, this entire building, this complex. Visualize this peace spreading, filling our entire city, our state, our nation, our world. Filling and surrounding our planet with the vibrations of peace and love. Fill this universe with peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Fill this universe with peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Fill this universe with peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Fill me with peace and harmony. Fill me with peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Fill me with peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Fill me with peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. And now briskly rubbing our palms together. Channeling the energy to our palms, to our spiritual eyes. Raising our palms, we chant Om 3 times. There's just one more thing probably I was sharing it earlier. One of the important points that Master has also shared when we're doing affirmations is to also visualize. Visualization is a very helpful tool. In fact, nowadays even doctors for getting their patients to be healed are advising that they should visualize, and it has been known and proven scientifically that even visualization is helping a lot. So, going back to the example that I've spoken about in today's session around if somebody is having financial difficulties, we're talking about, suggesting, as Master said, that you feel it when you're saying the affirmation, but it would be also good to visualize it. What is the kind of change? So whatever it is, whether it's a relationship issue, whether it's a financial challenge, whether it's a medical issue, what is the change that you want to see coming about in yourself or in the other person? You even visualize that. Don't just feel it, but also visualize it, because it definitely helps in setting the right kind of images in your subconscious mind, correcting the patterns over there, and thereabout bringing about the healing that we are looking for. Also, Master has said that when you're saying the affirmations, while as a general rule, you will keep your focus on the medulla oblongata and then bringing it to the spiritual eye. But if you're doing affirmations which are more around emotional issues and all, you should bring your focus to the heart. Of course, when it comes to willpower energy, you will bring your focus to the spiritual eye. So Master has suggested that if you still don't have any of these books, the Affirmations for Self-Healing by Swamiji and Scientific Healing Affirmations by Master himself, I would recommend that go grab these. I mean, just don't go by the size of this book. And I did pick this book up, but then long back, of course, back in 2013 when I was new to Ananda, I had picked this book up, but didn't really pay attention to it. I said, okay, rahega, kuch to isme, small book, thin book. But when I started reading this book, and the amount of information in there, the wealth of information that is present in this book is amazing, and it really helps transform our lives. So definitely grab yourselves these copies. So, thank you very much.